Yes. This is the HL podcast for our HL Tuesdays. We are the dopest podcast in the DMV, presented to you all by the Harris Firm and Willpower Innovations. I am Amrock alongside your boy Chief.
In the building, man. In the building.
Now tonight, people, this is our HL interviews where we sit down and converse with the up and coming and established, the talented and intelligent, the artists and entrepreneurs and the creators and the activists. Now, people, please remember that all of our previous interview episodes are available on all major podcast platforms and on our YouTube channels at the HL Podcast and the EEM Network. Right now, we are broadcasting live on the Roku platform and Apple TV, on the Politicking app via Politicking Broadcasting. A special shout out to the StreamYard platform where we are live right now on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Also, again, people, the newly released docu-film, The Lost Weekend, executive produced by Chief and myself, is available right now exclusively on the EEM Network via YouTube. And big announcement, big news, this film was recently selected to the Black Panther International Film Festival for Best Documentary Short. Incredible feeling, awesome. Hopefully more to come. I don't know, Chief, if you wanted to comment real quick.
Man, it's a blessing, man. It's a big blessing. We looked at the list of stuff, and your boy Amrock was just submitting some films, and next thing you know, on the day we didn't know, he said, bro, look at this. And it was an exciting day. It set us good for the week. So we just want to say glory to God and just more to come, man. More to come.
Absolutely. Glory to God, man. Yeah, that was a cool experience.
It was.
And lastly, people, next Saturday is going down on Juneteenth, the 8th issue, HL Magazine. Get ready. It's coming together. I just seen what Chief dropped this. That shit is gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. Let's get it.
Hey, look, they're not ready for that. They got the cover already, but we got about 8 or 9 more pages that's just out of this mind, out of this world. So get ready for a Juneteenth. If you ain't ready, get ready. So of course we got someone special, man. It's definitely special to me. I grew up with him, man. Gave me a bunch of wisdom since day one. Treated me like a little bruh. Showed me the way. So it's just only right that we bring him on in and just speak life purpose with him. My man, Corey, man. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Corey Gregg. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What's up, brother? Right.
Of course, doing what he do.
Brothers, how y'all doing?
Hey, man.
First and foremost, they congratulate documentary. Yes.
No, thank you too, man. No, thank you too. You already
putting things together.
Appreciate that, bro.
No, thank you too, man.
Appreciate that, man. And we're gonna get a little bit more into that later because some influence on your end. But we want to start by talking mental. We know you big time in the mental health world, and Amrock and myself, we're advocates, and we try to push just exploring the mental as Black men and just Black people in general. We need to, get that right before we head into generational wealth. So how is your mental state right now?
Well, I would say my mental state is better than it was. My mental state is great. My mental state is full of awareness. My mental state is full of daily practice and daily growth. So mainly being aware of my mental state daily, being aware of my energy daily, and knowing how to move forward. Being okay with my light, being okay with my dark, and being okay with how I function through the world, and knowing that each I take is through my intention.
That's good. No, that's good because you talking mental exploration, and that's what we need as a people, regardless, man. So we definitely gonna get into that. But let's get a little backstory. So of course you're living in Richmond right now, but where are you originally from?
I am originally from the Bronx, New York, and I think we moved to
The
Richmond
boogie down.
in 2002.
In 2002. Okay, so how was it actually growing up?
Born and raised in New York, man. Growing up in New York was an adventure. I learned so much from both sides. From my father teaching me, a lot from this street and different people's behaviors, and my mother teaching me about spirituality and energy and just making sure and being one with myself. So I had the best of both worlds. So growing up in New York, I was always the quiet, introvert one, but I was always the loud one, me being a Leo and me being a drama-filled person. So I will always feel everybody's energy and be able to relate, but not knowing what that came, not knowing where that, what that was in early age. So growing in New York was fun for me because I was able to learn so much.
I think I think your mic, your video away.
Your video is going in and out a little bit, man.
Hey, you here?
It's going in and out.
Oh man, let me see.
No, it's all good. Little technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
Still going in now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still going in and out.
How about now? Cool.
All right, that seemed cool. All right, bet. So that's good. Thank you.
Hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. Yeah, you back. Perfect. So you do a wide range of things. Of course, you're a music producer, you're an energy healer. But what was your first passion as a kid?
No.
Dang, that junk going.
Yeah, it's messing up. Technical difficulties.
My first passion as a kid, my mother, she was a manager for Job Records. And she used to, and at the Arc, I used to, because at the time she used to bring me to the Arc and all these acts used to go on. And I used to fall asleep underneath the stage while all the acts would play. So my first love was always the types of music frequencies from music. And
Hey, Corey, it's still going in and out, man. Like we can barely
go down every end of every season.
Sorry, people. Technical difficulties.
I don't know where you went now.
It's all good. He may have to get back on his laptop and just use some headphones or something.
Yeah.
Because the laptop was working fine. We just couldn't hear him. Or he couldn't hear us, rather.
Well, in the meantime, in between time.
Right, what you just to, I guess, go back talking about the film, and again, just the feeling of being selected to something like for the first film. How did I know how you reacted, as far as, because I'm the one that told you the information, right? But like when I sent it to you and they're like, how did that make you feel? Again, like our first feature film and hopefully many more, man.
That was a great question because first of all, I wasn't expecting that because like I said, you put it in on like that Friday and it popped back in on that Monday, not even a few days. Yeah, like 2 days later. So, I mean, it's just amazing. And you know me, I like to play Mario. And it just like a check mark for you.
Right.
We can never go back to that. I love God sending me bookmarks and stuff in times that I don't know what I don't expect it. And to get that halfway checkpoint that I know that is nothing before that no more. Like whatever we bounce back off of, it stops there when we get that. So it was just amazing to see that. I think think he back. Yo.
I hope you see me.
Nah, we can't see you.
Back.
Okay.
We still choppy. Man, I can see y'all. I can see y'all. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Corey, you may want to try the laptop again, but just trying to put headphones in. Yeah, let's try that because the laptop was working, but yeah, with the headphones you might hear. Okay. All right, cool. So so hopefully he come back. But yeah, man, it's like I said, blessings, man, and hopefully many more with this and where we're going with this, and all the projects we got looming and coming hopefully over this next decade. Really, that's what we discuss, and and the lineup that we got. That's a decade. Right there, and we have enough material, people.
For sure we have enough,
and that's not even half of it. like that's just probably 1/3. You know,
right? They was giving Decade of the Year awards. Y'all gonna have to give it to us from 2020 to 2030.
For real,
y'all have to do that, John, over here.
Filmmakers of the decade, producers of the decade, like it's it's real, and we taking this very seriously. And I think the biggest thing is just again maintaining that, like we always talk about, maintaining that realism in the film, right? Capturing something that everyone can relate to, right? A lot of people when they talk about The Lost Weekend, again, when like what Yajikede said, shout out to Yajikede. The fact that you could be placed there, you know what I mean? Like that's how I want people to do every time we do something. I want you to feel like, the next project I want people to feel like they're there. You know what I mean? Like
an experience,
an experience. Yep, exactly. Sure. So it's just dope. Dope to hopefully be to be recognized, and hopefully, it just keeps growing from there. But yeah.
For sure.
And yeah. Okay.
We back. We back.
Great.
There you go.
All right, bet.
Show must go on. That's what I'm talking about. So what was the last thing y'all heard?
I'm gonna just ask the question again.
Yeah. Cool. Let's do that.
Cool. So and let's go to this one. At what point in your life did you decide to make the transition into the person you are now?
Wow. I would say when everything started going downhill and I was sitting in my fire. So at that point, I couldn't control it. I was lying too much. I couldn't control my finances. My relationship, I wasn't being the man that I knew I wanted to be, when I couldn't control anything around me. And everything just came to a head at one point. And I said, you know what? At this point, I'm at a crossroad. I can either continue being the person I am and then continue, blaming everyone else, or I can go get the help I need and really find out why I'm making these decisions. Why am I thinking like this? Why am I choosing this instead of this? Why that logic doesn't make sense to me? So then I went to therapy, and after therapy helped me a lot, because one thing my therapist told me was that same feeling you feel when you're in that fire and you're in that uncomfortable state, that's what you need to explain. That's what you need to get out. Because if you're not getting that out, you're just holding on to the same thing that's continuing to hurt you. And we're just talking just to talk at that point. So every time I saw him, I was raw, uncut. It didn't matter what it was. We talked about everything. And that helped me process through a lot of the old trauma, a lot of stuff I kept in a box. Helped me realize, why I was thinking certain ways, why I was being so defensive about, money and things of that nature. So, and that seeing me progress through that and seeing who I was becoming got me excited. So now I'm like, all right, what else do I need to work on? Because I'm the type of person, if I know my path and if I know I need to work on it, it doesn't matter how many people tell you. Once you get to the point where you need to work on it, that's when it's going to make sense and you're going to do it. So
that's true. And naturally, what we didn't speak about is you was big time playing basketball. You said hoop with us all the time, and you just gave basketball mentality. Okay, what else do I need to work on?
Exactly.
It's the same with this end. You know, I'm heavy right when I was balling in the beginning. You tell me I'm off, I'm still going right?
Exactly.
But then after a while, I done got there. What else can I work? Oh, I got to go left. Oh, I got to do this. It's the same to translate into life. So once you translated that, right, you started to work on other things, right? Where did that lead you? Like, where did you go from there? Like, did you feel stronger? You know, did you feel vulnerable? You know, we got to talk that too. Like, how would you feel after that?
I say I felt vulnerable. I felt vulnerable. At some point, at points growing through the process, I became stronger because I became more confident in myself. But the whole process, I became vulnerable because at that point, of course, growing up in New York, as a black man, you have that, I got to be alpha male. I got to walk around with my chest up. I got to be tough. But really, I want to hug all y'all. Make sure y'all straight. Make sure you good. But at first, I got to give that, I'll put my hands on you, but then once you get to know me, I'm gonna hug you. So getting past that and being vulnerable and being like, you know what, this is who I am. I'm the type of person that's going to continue to call you just to tell you I love you. Doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, and being okay with that. Being okay with if I watch something and I'm crying because it's so emotional. Being okay with crying in public and things of that nature because that's just who I am, and showing my emotions. So going through the process of showing your emotions, that's a lot. And so a lot of people can't handle that because that's a lot to, it's like you're learning your superpower. You're learning how to manage your emotions and your intentions and everything. And just learning that you have these powers is mind blowing at times. So going through that process, I definitely felt vulnerable.
I hear that. Now, before the process, you had music. Right. So how was that? When did you start making the beats? When did you start like immersing yourself in the music?
My music started for me in 1996. That was the same year my sister was born, and my first music name was 9-6.
I remember that.
Yep. And I started making music on the Casio piano, and then I upgraded to like hip hop EJ. And I just started learning. Everybody around me, I was the Radio Raheem in the neighborhood that would come out with the boombox, but I will only play instrumentals. I will only play like hip, what is it called? Hot 97 used to come out with these instrumental CDs of all the producers that came out with the regular songs, but it's just the instrumentals. And I'll come out and I would just play the instrumentals. And I'll come around people and people would freestyle. We just chill and relax. But that's the only thing I'll play. And from that, it started playing everybody else's instrumentals and just playing my instrumentals. And then everybody started rocking to it. And then that's when I just started learning more and more about the different types of production. Because I traveled a lot and my mother was into music and my cousins and family is into music, I was able to see certain things and they brought me to New York and Sterling Studios and I was able to experience a lot with music. So, and also music helped in my therapy as well, because each time I made a beat, I put a lot of emotion in that beat. Each beat meant something. I never just made a beat just to make it. Each beat had to mean something or I deleted it. And I had a bad habit of deleting tracks. I've deleted thousands of tracks just because it didn't have the feeling that I wanted it to have.
That's deep though. That's deep. That's knowing the vision and knowing the path though.
Right.
Because Dr. Miles Monroe talked about that all the time. Once you know the vision, it's easy to say no.
Exactly.
You know that. It ain't the thing, it's out of there. But others would think, dang, thousands of beats, that's this, that's that. But you like, this not part of the vision.
It's not.
So I'm glad you talked about
it. For example, the beats that you guys used for the documentary, I made those tracks 10 years ago. But those tracks sound relevant now. So someone always told me, even though it's old to you, it's always new to somebody else. So always send your music out, always send your product out and your content out, because it doesn't matter how long you made it. When somebody else see it, it's always their first time. So continue. I'm telling you.
Listen, you right on track, because we really about to ask that question next, right?
All right, what's up?
You said you made those beats 10 years ago. Ironically, The Lost Weekend is out right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know where it's at, go to each and every one of our LinkedIn's and our bios. They're there. We made it black and white and everything, so it kind of has that old feel too. And you said 10 years ago, right? And your music in there. What was that the first time you were actually featured in the actual film, and what was your initial reaction once you saw it?
Man, my initial reaction, I was excited because yes, that was my first time featured in the actual film, and just seeing the production and the quality behind it at first, I was like, I love it. I love how everything is put together. Everything, it has a beginning and an end. It has a theme. I love that. And then hearing my music behind everything for the first time, of course, brought chills to me. I was like, oh shit, that's me. But just seeing the project from beginning to end, seeing how everything was put together, knowing that you was part of it, and the emotions and everything, and knowing that even though the beat was made 10 years ago, the same emotion that was in that beat was able to fit this project meant a lot. That meant a lot. Definitely.
You can't even make this up, man. Yes, this is Core Sounds, ladies and gentlemen. He was the one who created the masterful beats that actually fuel the Lost Weekend. You heard him. He tried to flex on us. He said, he made them 10 years ago, but guess what? His hard drive is full.
Yes, the computer knowledge.
Yes, that's a fact. So we appreciate you for, just sending those our way, man. And it really, man, made the whole project pretty fire. Man. So we appreciate that.
Appreciate it. Anytime, brother. Anytime.
So we interested in one of these topics, alternative wellness and health.
Yes, sir.
So can you speak a little bit about that?
Yes, I can. I speak more coming from the energy healing side. I am a master teacher, energy healing practitioner. And I speak more so coming from, your energy, your behavior, how you blend with the energy, and how you manage your energy. So first, everybody, well, I wouldn't say everybody, certain people are aware of your body chakras. You have your body chakras and you have your spiritual chakras. I focus on more and try to make your body chakras more relatable to your everyday. So using your heart chakra and using different examples to explain how your heart chakra targets not just your physical but your emotion and how you feel towards different people. Being more grounded, going outside and rooting your feet in the grass so you can feel the energy around you, so you can feel how strong it is and how you can use that energy to go about your day. How understanding that your words are energy. Your words mean things, as my wife would say. Your words mean things. So everything you say and the affirmations and the things we speak, using your energy behind that and actually moving forward, towards it. So, I create affirmations for everybody to help them through the course of their day, but knowing that you have the power and you have the power to create these same affirmations and move in that light. So waking up saying, you know what? I'm not going to stop anyone from messing with my energy. I'm happy today and I'm going to stay happy. That means through the course of your day, you're going to do everything in your power to make sure that you keep that high vibration, that you keep that happiness. So when it comes to alternative health and wellness, my goal is to bring health and wellness and make it more relatable in everybody's day to day. So the things that you feel, the things that you see, helping you understand those things. So and using energy healing to help. So instead of if you don't really resonate with, chakras and Ricky healing and all these other things, but you resonate with just energy and you feeling other people, taking those same principles and making sure that you can include it in your day to day. So for example, the example I always use is when we was kids and we used to fall and scrape our knee. We used to hold it, and we used to concentrate on that one area. And we used to rock side to side. We used to focus on the pain, and for some reason, that pain goes away.
Right.
That is self-healing. That is you concentrating, using all of your healing power to focus on that. The same thing we use meditation. When we sit there and we breathe deeply in and we breathe out slowly, we're consciously calming our mind down. We're not, and I want to make this extremely clear, we're not clearing our mind. We're calming it so we can process through the thoughts. We always want to process through the thoughts. You never want to clear your mind. Your mind is not empty. You want your mind to continue to flow. You want your body to continue to flow. So, but you always want to understand, what are you thinking and why are you thinking those things? So if in your movements, how you wake up, okay, why am I choosing violence today? Why do I have all this aggression on me today? What happened? And process through it versus going, you know what, whatever it is what it is. This is what I'm going to do.
Wow.
That's we don't want to do that.
Right.
So bringing energy healing together and making it relatable, making it a part of your regimen.
That's good to hear. Now, how important is the sun to folks who look like us, of course? Because I'm a firm believer that you step outside, I feel totally different. Forget what they say, Superman get his powers for the sun. That's not true. We get our but how
we get our
important
powers from everything. You know, the sun rejuvenates us, of course, the vitamin D's and everything. But regarding energy, you know, we as the yin and the yang, we get our energy from the sun and the moon, the light and the dark. So just like we can wake up in the morning and feel the vibrations of the sun, I sunbathe when I can, just so I can feel the radiance of the sun and feel the vibration, because that does wake me up. But you also have night. I call it myself night bathing, when you can get your energy and stuff, energy from the moon. When the full moon happens, you go outside and you ground yourself and you still meditate and do all these things to get the energy from the moon. So the sun has all different types of benefits for all different types of issues and for people. But mainly you want to feel the energy of everything around you, and the sun helps you feel that energy, in my opinion.
Wow, that's a great explanation. I needed that for sure. So thank you for explaining that for real. So let me ask you this. You spoke about everything that's so important to you with so much passion, with so much knowledge. So we understand how grounded you are. But this intellectual property is humongous in a world like us, and it's been stolen for years. You cut on the TV, is everywhere. How has this process been building your brand, and how important is it to control everything that you just said?
Honestly, I went into this very, very controlling. Like, I wanted to make sure that I have, my name is on everything and everything. Everybody knows me. But since I've been taking it day to day, my mother always told me, if you don't want anyone to repeat it, don't say it. So it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what comes out. It doesn't matter the content. It doesn't matter if somebody takes it and remixes it. We're all remixing content. We're all doing the same things because we share the same energy. It's just we're expressing it in our own way. But someone has already done it. So that's not going to take away from me to put out my content and put out my brand the way I put it out, because it's still my feeling. It's still my passion. It's still my purpose. So combining meditation and energy hitting with cannabis and CBD, and showing different aspects and self-healing, regardless of who's doing it and regardless of who's, in their path, I'm still going to do this process. This is still going to happen. So even with regarding intellectual property, still, brand yourself, make sure you have all the legal documents that's needed to make sure that your name is on your brand. But regarding the things that you say and how you move, as long as it's genuine, as long as your intent is positive, you say what you need to say.
That's a fact. I hear that. That's a fact.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes sense. Definitely. So, we're still basically in the pandemic. It's coming to a close, but last March, right, when everything happened, when everything got shut down, what were the initial effects, for you in your life and your business?
Oh man, it was deep. So the initial effects was in the start of the pandemic, I was the operations manager for U-Haul, U-Haul headquarters in Arizona, working remotely. And around that time, we were pushing for me to move to Arizona, but it's something that my wife and I didn't want to do. So once COVID hit, at around April, U-Haul decided, we decided to part ways due to COVID. And it's crazy that happened because you never know when the universe is going to push you. Because when you're sitting there, you're 9 to 5, you're saying to yourself, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't like it. I don't like it. And then an opportunity comes, and you didn't plan for it to come when it was going to come, but you don't have any control over that. So when it came, at first I was shocked. I was still in shock. I was stunned because I'm like, we're in a pandemic. I lost my job. I don't know what to do. And that's when, after speaking to my wife, who has always been, supportive in my corner, speaking to my mom, they say, speaking to my brothers, rely on your skills. You didn't train and go through all this research and do all these things for all these years for nothing. You don't learn about process and business analysts and management and, all these, you didn't do all these things for nothing. So rely on those skills, and that's exactly what I did, and that's what led me to following deep in my heart is I just genuinely want to help people, but I want to help people my way, and that what led me to energy healing. And so I went through the process and went through the schooling and became certified, and even the energy healing process made me go through things that I need to go through in order for me to be able to help people. So I had to go through my fears. I had to go through my trauma. I had to sit there and go through different meditations for me to understand how to remove energy off of me. I had to do meditations to visit spirit animals, for me to feel my ancestors, to study, all these things for me to get to the point where now I can help people. But I had to help myself first. And while helping myself, it helped me in my marriage. It helped me with my relationships with people, because now I'm aware of everything, not just the energy around me. I'm aware of my behaviors. I'm aware of what I'm doing. So now I can say, oh, okay, I see it. I can do something about it. So, it is, man. The process and what happened in the pandemic, it brought me through a lot. And to now, I feel like I'm my most freest because I'm able to create, and I'm positive, and I know myself. And even when at the days when you don't feel positive, I still know I'm trying to find the right words, but I'm just gonna let it out and say it. I feel more confident in my abilities. Definitely more confident in my abilities than I did, sitting behind a desk. When I was sat behind a desk, anytime I spoke and I knew my ideas and my solutions were great, I always got quiet. And being in the position that I'm in now, I love my voice. And now I'm trying to train myself and train my voice. One of the best questions I was recently asked was, what's one of the things that you're personally working on, like in your personal growth? And I said, my personal goal is to work on my hesitation when becoming more assertive. I have like a 3-second delay, when I need to be assertive on something. But changing that, once that hesitation is gone, I'm a bad man. I'm already a bad man now. I know that's the next step in my training. That's the next step on me becoming the person that I know I am.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I'm glad you said that, because it's like, as Black folk, I think that's like a ticker in our mind. You're not the only one that had that, but we got to understand, like Dr. Miles Monroe would say, we were born with these gifts.
Exactly.
Right? It's like a bird is born to fly. As a baby, it ain't flying yet, but it's born to fly, and as soon as its wings spread, it's
baby steps to greatness. Baby steps to greatness.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and piggybacking off of that a little bit, right? In society today, we sometimes, especially Black people, right? We sometimes don't support each other's dreams, our aspirations, our businesses with one another, right? We still, unfortunately, being violent towards one another, right? Why is it important for you to still deliver a message and the messages that you do every day, right? And the words of healing, your affirmations? Why is that important, especially with the times right now? And not just black people not supporting one each other, are still not, protecting one another. But everything that we're seeing from the police, from the government, right?
Right.
Why is it? Yeah.
Why is this still important? Why do I still do it? Because I understand human behavior, and I'm still learning about human behavior, and I understand that everybody will receive the message when they need it.
Right.
So that doesn't stop you from giving out the message. That just understand that you meet. My mother always told me, you meet a person where they at. So I can't force that person. Hey, look at my content. Oh, I'm trying to help you. Hey, I'm trying to help you. That when that person is ready, he or she will know where my content is. And that's why when people say, when I see people say, I'm happy I see this. I'm happy it reached you. I don't know how it reached you. I don't know in which way you saw it. I don't know when you saw it, but I'm happy it got to you. So in the days where we, even when it comes to, us supporting one another, support yourself first, invest in yourself first. And then it's not your job to worry about who invests in you. It's your job to worry about you investing in you. Because regardless the climate that we live in, when a person will truly invest in you when they see you doing, what you say you was going to do, you have to do what you say you're going to do. So at first, invest in you. First support you before worrying about people supporting you. And that's one thing I have to learn. When I started my page, I made sure I didn't follow any family and friends. And I just put out my content. And whoever started following, if you found me, that you was meant to find me. But I didn't want to piggyback off of any family or friends or anything of that nature, because I genuinely put out the content for everyone. So I need everyone to find it in their time. So yeah, I would say, things change. We go through trends. We go through a lot of changes. So I would tell everybody not focus less on how people are supporting and the things of that nature, and focus more on what are you doing. Focus more on your energy and how you are supporting yourself and how you are supporting others. Because if you worry about you and how you are supporting others, then if that person is doing the same thing, then the whole question of worrying about somebody supporting you is out of the equation.
That's deep.
Makes sense.
So,
yeah, man. So, wanted to get your thoughts on this, right?
Right.
Chief and I, we are definitely, and we talk about this on our podcast, we definitely understand and support other races and ethnic groups, getting certain bills passed for themselves, for their protection, for for education, for develop, all those different things, right?
Right.
But unfortunately, we're still not seeing any movement for us Black people, right? I.e., the new Asian crime bill. It's like, it's interesting that, the Asian community is getting a crime bill, but, the Black community, who you see dying every day in the streets at the hands of police and others, are not getting a crime bill. We just want to get your thoughts on that.
My thoughts are, it's unfortunate that our issues are always put to the back burner. But I only speak for myself, and I say that we still have to push and put tension and put pressure on these issues. So we can talk a lot and we can say, oh, that's bad. Oh, that's, they got one. Why didn't we get one? That's great. But what are we actually doing to force and put our neck on somebody, or our foot on somebody's neck to say this is going to happen? We can talk about it as much as possible. We can, come together. We can, rally about it. But certain things need to go in action. Now, do I know what needs to go in action? I do not. But so far, what I've seen in history, I see that we need to take it a step. What that step is, we all need to come together and talk about it. But what I see that was different is, even though we have years and centuries of the things that's being done to us, once one issue happened, everybody came together and focused solely on that one issue. They didn't, it didn't branch out. No one hated on anyone else. Everybody said, no, this needs to stop, period, point blank. And doesn't matter how strongly you say that, we need everyone to say this needs to stop. Not just us, not just one demographic. We need everyone to say it needs to stop. Because so just how everyone has everybody else support, we need to support each other. So until we have that support from everyone, including ourselves, then we will continue to have a lot of issues and a lot of walls, in my opinion.
That's deep.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Not a problem.
That's deep. And the world sees what happens when we do. You know, as Deputy Chairman Fred Hampton, he brought together the Rainbow Coalition, and you see what happened, right? Once everybody figured out that it wasn't just this demographic problem, it was a whole different kind of demographic problem against one entity that's sitting up on top. You know, so I agree with that. If we all don't come together and agree that the eradication of poverty and all these and other stuff needs to happen, it's not going to happen. Because it's us people who look like us, and a lot of the world do like this when it's us. They literally turn in that cheek. So I see what you're saying.
It could be as small as, still having. I know we have already different organizations out there, but maybe these organizations mean to partner up and come together to make one. So everyone sees that, that force and that passion and those numbers and the organization in different areas of the world. Maybe we need to see that as one, but. In time, we will all continue to learn, and the energy that's all around us and that knowledge around us, we will continue to progress. So we only have, time to tell. So we'll see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So I ask you this, and it's a purpose question. What do you feel like is your life's purpose? On my end, I give you an example. I feel like I spoke before, I live on this. To me, purpose don't make sense without you paying a price.
Right.
God doesn't trust anybody who hasn't paid a price. So once that price is paid, purpose to me makes sense.
Right.
In your life, what do you think your purpose is?
So my purpose is to help. My purpose is to assist. I'll say through the course of my life, for me looking back, and in my 35 years, I was able to obtain enough knowledge to make sure that I was knowledgeable if anyone needed any assistance or anyone needed, any help. So I knew that was my purpose, but I didn't know how. And I didn't know different ways to help. So I used to sacrifice my time and sacrifice my energy towards helping others, but didn't know how I was doing it, didn't know how to manage that. So I was always, messing myself up. So I would say, my purpose is to help. My purpose is to assist. My purpose is I'm a resource. My mother told me I'm a hoarder of knowledge, and I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that, because that means you're able to come to me and I'm knowledgeable of whatever topic that you need so we can get through it. So, within saying that, my purpose being to help and my purpose being a problem solver. I've prided myself of trying to manage time and trying to manage solving problems, because you are as happy as you are if you have less problems. So the more problems you can solve, the happier you are. So of course everyone's happy when they have no problems. So when they have the most problems, yeah, exactly. So if you can solve your problems and learn how to solve your problems, you can manage your happiness. And that's how I've been trying to that's how I've been managing my happiness, is trying my best to solve the problems around me, whether it's myself and solve the problems within, and help and assist others of solving the problems externally.
Man, that's deep, because these people in this world solve problems.
Exactly.
And once you solve your problems, understanding what the problem was, how you got to the problem, and not making that same problem for yourself again. That's the most important.
Exactly. And then we have automation and now you have in the background the problem is you don't have the problem. Now you just have a fully functional machine moving in the background because you took the time to go through that problem. One book that I've read that that taught me that was Mastery by Robert Greene. Learning not to skip steps and go through each step, because each step will teach you something that you will need moving forward.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I believe that 100%. So what's the next steps for you in 2021, my man?
Next steps for me is, of course, building the brand. So sharing my message more, trying to get more people to hear all of the wonderful things that they can do with themselves and just self-healing. So, taking everybody who sees cannabis as the devil's lettuce and focus on the healing aspects of cannabis, and match that with everyone who do not have time for meditation and to heal themselves, and pull them and show them how just breathing for 5 minutes can help you calm yourself and focus on whatever you need to, and bringing those two together and showing you that before anything, you have the power to heal yourself internally and externally. So that is the goal for 2021, is to continue sharing that message, continue creating content, continue partnering with different businesses and different Black-owned businesses to make sure that everybody sees this message and gets it. Because yes, you do have superpowers. I remember there was a whole trend about, we gonna get our superpowers. Yes, you do have them. You have to sit down and learn how to manage them, and let me help you learn how to manage them.
I hear that.
Got you.
Hey, go ahead and put that plug in.
Yes, I got you.
Oh man, yo! So now we're about to get into our quick 5, right? So I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. We just need 5 quick answers to each question.
Oh,
right?
shoot. Okay.
Right.
Right.
So first
up, like this.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me like this shit. As y'all see, I've been over here. I've been trying to be cordial.
So first up, tell us one thing that you know now that you wish you knew at the beginning of your journey.
Man. One thing that I knew now that I wish I knew: my power, my skill. If I knew then what I know now within myself, I would be a force to be reckoned with. Y'all would have, everybody have a problem if I knew what I knew now. And because I know it now, I'm getting ready.
Yeah, I hear that.
I hear that. Yep, absolutely. So, which public figure that has passed on would you have loved to have met, talked about each other's experiences, maybe potential business opportunities, or just pick their brains for their knowledge?
Prince.
Woo!
Prince.
And that's your boy, Amrock.
I would love to sit down with Prince, because all the stories you've heard about Prince has always been positive. Whereas for music business, just business, being just his behaviors and how he treated people, how he treated himself, and just life. So I would definitely want to hear Prince, because one thing Prince, what hit me the most was Prince didn't work with you if you didn't own your own stuff. Facts. And he pushed people to own your own masters, own your music, own your royalties, own these things. So for him to want to see so much good in everybody, while him being that person doing it so you can have someone to look at and see doing it, and then doing that in every aspect of his life, definitely Prince.
Facts, I agree.
Side question: is Purple Rain a musical?
Purple Rain is a musical.
Thank you.
Purple Rain is a musical.
Okay, thank you.
It is a musical from beginning to end. And I ain't a big musical person. That's a full-blown musical.
Say less.
Thank you.
That's all we have to hear.
Purple Rain is like the 5 Heartbeats and like the Temptations.
You said that.
Those are musicals.
Thank you. People be like, because it's not Dreamgirls and they're singing.
Right. That's
music plays a big part, and the star of the movie is a musician. It's a music.
Exactly. I'm just saying. So, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Third question: who is the best, in your opinion, the best MC from the Boogie Down?
Best MC with?
From the Boogie Down, from the Bronx.
Ooh. Man, that's difficult. Shoot. From the Bronx, man.
I know it's a lot of them. I know.
Yep.
I know.
I would have to go with, KRS-One.
Knowledge
That's
reigns
a-
supreme
yeah,
over
I
everyone.
would have to
Yeah.
go with KRS-One.
Yeah.
Because
I like that.
KRS, he dropped jewels and he just fluent with it. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yep.
I can go with that one.
Please tell us what your favorite affirmation is.
My favorite affirmation is, I know my strengths and I support my strengths. So me knowing my strengths is one thing, but me supporting them is another.
Yeah.
So putting all of that energy of me knowing all of my strengths, me using that same confidence and supporting my strengths. So supporting the fact that I have the ability to talk to everyone and not be shy about it. Support the fact that I have the ability to run a business and to lead people and assist them the way they need. So knowing and understanding my skills and supporting them.
I love that. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Appreciate that.
And finally, man, what do you pray for the most?
I pray for the most everyone's health. So I will sacrifice any dream, anything my ancestors or my spirit guides have for me for someone's health. So I've used to when I was younger, and that's always my go-to. You know, I can always pray for someone to be happy, but you can't control people's happiness. You know, when I pray for people's health, I pray, for the overall, in general, making sure that, I hope you're okay. Regardless what you're going through it for a reason, but you're still breathing while you're going through it. I'm just sending any type of healing to you to make sure that you're okay.
I like that you say you sacrifice that all for that.
Yes.
That's that price. That's that price.
Yes, you always have to sacrifice something.
Whatever
whatever you do, either you're sacrificing your time, you're sacrificing your energy, physically, emotionally, you're sacrificing something. So, but it's always good to know what you're sacrificing. So when you're going through it, you don't have any regrets going through it.
Yeah, I agree.
So
100%.
when you're sacrificing what you said you wanted to sacrifice, when you see that doesn't happen, be okay with not happening because you gave that up for someone else's help.
I agree. Ooh, that's deep.
That's
deep right there.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, people, that is our interview. Again, we want to thank everyone for listening and viewing us right now. Please go follow Corey on all of his
thank you
all of his pages.
Peace. Appreciate you.
Core Wellness, Core Frequency, man. Go follow this dude, man.
Yes.
Corey, do you have any closing remarks? Anything you want to say to the people?
One thing I want the people to know is be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Wherever your process is at, it's okay. If you're not moving fast enough, you're not moving at that speed for a reason. Be patient with yourself. Once you have that, you'll be okay.
Great. Appreciate that.
That's
Great
it.
words, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
appreciate you, man.
Words, man. We appreciate you again. Want to drop this plug. Thank you again, StreamYard, for letting us, perform live, man. It's always amazing to get on with individuals in your round, definitely. Please remember to follow us all on IG, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, all at the HL Podcast. Please follow Corey Gregg on his platforms as well. If you need that healing, energy healing, go ahead, go to that guy right there.
This guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, June 22nd with a new interview. And again, on Juneteenth, the HL Mag will be dropping.
Yes.
Peace and love, everybody.
Peace, everybody.